What's up, world? It's your girl Queen with another episode of What I Said. So, this week we are talking about mom guilt. It doesn't exactly have to be just mom guilt, it can be parent guilt, it can be auntie guilt, it can be guilt from any adult that's raising a child or children who is doing a marvelous job and just feel guilty with doing normal things. So, what is mom guilt? Mom guilt to me is feeling like you're not doing enough as a parent. You try to go out, enjoy yourself. You feel like I'm abandoning my child. I should be with my child. You try to go back to work from, let's say, maternity leave or paternity leave or any type of leave that requires you to take care of the kid or kids. And you just feel like I shouldn't go back because my kid needs me. And those are all normal feelings because you always want to be by your child. I know I personally, I didn't have a problem with going back to work because I like my money. And I also knew that my kids were in good hands with my mother. But going out, even now to this day, and my oldest is 7, I feel guilty. I feel like I should be in the house with them. I don't, not that I don't trust the people that I leave them with, because I only leave them with not even a handful of people, but I just feel like I should always be with them, like I'm abandoning them. It's just something mentally in me knowing, even though I know that I have my kids all the time, like if they're not at school, they're with me. So even though I know I have my kids all the time, it's just something in me that just feels like anytime I drop them off, I'm abandoning them. And I thought I was the only one feeling like that, and I didn't really know what mom guilt was actually. So my friend told me like a year or two ago about it. I had a coworker who she dealt with a lot of mental health issues, and I was telling her how I was feeling and that if I was to go out, how I would feel leaving them home, even though if they were with dad or with grandma. And she was like, "Yeah, you have mom guilt." And I'm like, "What the hell is mom guilt?" And she was already explaining it to me. And I'm like, "Yes, I definitely do." And I told my therapist about it. And then she's like, "Yeah, you definitely have, like, it's like a real thing." And I was like, "What?" It's definitely different from postpartum depression because I dealt with that too. But I'll call it parent guilt then, since I don't want to just directly put it towards moms. Parent guilt, it happens to me every time I try to go out and enjoy myself. I can still enjoy myself, but I feel like I should just be with my kids. And the way I deal with it, I think I call and check up on them too much, or I go home early from the event. I kind of like stop my fun, which I know is not good at all, but that just makes me feel better. I only leave my kids with my mother, my stepmother, and that's probably only it. And my daughter can go with her father. But other than that, I don't leave them with anybody. So it's not, like I said, it's not like I don't trust the babysitter. I feel like one, my kids are too much for somebody to watch. They're all over the place sometimes. And two, three is a whole nother ball game. If anybody would have told me anything about having 3 kids, I probably would have said, no, you're lying. But no, it's the truth. 3 children are crazy to have, especially when you're a single parent. It's definitely different. So I feel like leaving all of that responsibility on somebody is a lot. And my mother has already been vocal about not being able to care for all 3 of them at one time. So I may have to leave one with my stepmother or two with my stepmother, one with my mother or two with my mother. So I have to like split it up a little bit. But really, I don't. My enjoyment is either doing my podcast or getting things done around the house. Actually, I feel like with age, some may call it boring, some may call it. If I'm not, I want to travel more. That is one thing I would like to do. But the club scene and the hanging out, and that just does not even excite me no more. Like I'll go to a lounge. Don't get me wrong. I'll chill at a friend's house, maybe sip some wine. But the whole going out, and I did that. My 20s, I did that. I had my first child at 25. So, I mean, I did that up until I had my first child. Probably like a couple years after I even had my first child, because it was so much easier to get a babysitter for one. I didn't have that mom guilt then. I did miss her. She was the one and only. I did feel like, dang, I need to call and check on the baby, but I don't think I had it that bad. So now it's like really hitting me. Like once I had my second child and now third, it hits me a lot when I try to go out and have fun. I feel like for me, a nice amount of times to go out and have fun is, I say probably like twice a week, once every 2 weeks. And then, like I say, it has to be like a little cute little lounge or something. But it's nothing out here in this world. This world is just so crazy. I'd rather literally be at home. I mean, I don't do many guests at my house. I'd rather go to somebody else's house. But I don't do many guests. I don't like people coming to my house. Like I don't like entertaining company. I just don't like it. So I'd rather go to somebody else's house and just chill. But it definitely has to be a friend. But yeah, the guilt for me, it always it kind of like, I'm not gonna say ruins my night, but it just takes over. Cause I can have fun, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, what are they doing? Are they getting on somebody's nerves? Are they eating the right thing? I think it's just really being a good parent all in itself. And I was looking up some ways that probably could help me try to get past that or help other people get past that. And it says one is acknowledging the guilt, which I obviously don't have a problem with acknowledging the fact that I have parent guilt. I do. It's me. My name is Queen and I have parent guilt. I will acknowledge it, but it also says focus on your accomplishments. I feel like the me time that I do get is usually later at night when the kids are asleep because I go to work, then I go to extracurricular activities, then I'm doing things around the house, doing things with the kids. So the me time is actually when they go to sleep. So me focusing on my accomplishments, trying to build this podcast. I'm in school, so patting myself on the back for maybe finishing the exam or getting a good grade on the exam. I like to do a lot of crossword puzzles and just focusing on the things that I feel like I could accomplish or could be good at. Just that me time. I feel like I need to do that more. It says avoid people who make you feel guilty. Like, do y'all have people who actually make you feel bad about if you want to go out or if you need a break? Because I always cry, I need a break, I need a break, I need a break. I don't even know if my people be hearing me though. Like, I know it's me. I lay down and had these kids. Don't get me wrong. I know this. But when they said it takes a village, it takes a village, honey. It takes a whole village. I tried to move away, like 10 hours away to a new state one time. Bad idea, wrong idea. I need my village. Even though my village is small, I feel like with the mom guilt that I do have, I have to have people who understand where I'm coming from. That's why other mothers are also, I'm blessed enough to have other mothers who can watch my children when they can watch them, or parents that understand if I may call aloud, if I may FaceTime my daughter's iPad and try to see what they're doing. Like, I don't want nobody to be like, why do you keep calling her? What do you don't trust me? It's just not that. It's just the fact that me personally, I feel like I'm not doing a good job. Even though I know I'm doing a good job, I feel like I'm not doing a good job, if that makes sense. Going out and having a good time, I just feel guilty, like I should always be with them. It says, put yourself first. Now, that is one thing that's hard for me to do because I definitely have to make sure my household is good before I can be good. Now, I have my therapist who helps me mentally. I have my village who help me mentally. I have when they go to bed, my me time that helps me mentally. But even with that, I have a couple times that I go out, that I do go out, when I do go out. But you'll catch me probably in a lounge at somebody's house, 8 o'clock, fucking yawning, because I'm already tired. So I used to just calling it a night early. But I don't know how to actually put me first. I'm still trying to deal with juggling my household and me. Now, would I say I'm unhappy? No, I'm not unhappy. Would I say that I'm satisfied with the way my household is going? I'm totally fine. I love it. I love the fact that it's just me and my kids. Men are another child to raise. That's another subject. But yes, I love how things are going. I would want a better career. But would I say that I put myself first? I absolutely don't. But I absolutely think that when you are a mother, it's hard to put yourself first. But you have to find that balance. And even me, after 7 years of being a mother, I still have not found that balance. Because again, the mom guilt, it it weighs on me. Now, what I do is I have started to once a month on a weekday when the kids are in school, I do a me day. That means hair done, nails done, maybe go get something to eat, and I have to deal with crazy kids running around. Feet done, eyebrows, eyelashes, go shopping, buy me something nice. That whole day is dedicated to me, and I do not feel guilty at all because they're at school and they're where I feel like they should be. I feel like with me, the mom guilt happens either if I try to go out at night or on the weekends. But during the day, on my me day, I felt like that, and then that was a idea from my therapist, which has been working out excellent. I don't feel rushed. I don't. I don't even like to ask people to babysit my children, so I don't have to ask for a babysitter. I don't have to ask anybody to watch them. I don't have to do all of that. I can just drop them off from school, be off from work, and enjoy my me day. Being a mother, being a parent, you always seem to feel rushed. And this day, I just don't feel rushed. I would just love to see how everybody handles the routine of being a mother, especially people who may have adopted or maybe taken over for a family member. Just how do you handle if you do have parent guilt or step parent guilt, or whatever the guilt may be? How do you handle it? What do you do to keep yourself sane, but also feel like you're taking care of the kids or the kid well? What do you do? What's your me time routine? Just how do you handle it? I just feel like us as parents now is so many different ways that we can busy ourselves that we should be able to use these resources that we have. We don't necessarily have to go out on hit the streets or where they say I'm outside, be outside. Like you don't have to do that. It's just for me, my sanity is at home, but I also have to find a outside hobby that makes me happy too, instead of just taking care of the household. And it's definitely difficult when you are a single parent like I am. So I want you to comment. Let me know how you feel. Give me some insight. You can DM. You can just leave a message. You can do whatever you feel like you need to do as far as this topic is concerned. Next week we will be talking about Area 51. Now I am kind of like a nerd when it comes to stuff like this, so I wanted to dive into what people think. What are their theories about Area 51? What they feel about the what may be behind those closed gates, and just how they feel about Area 51. I like to hear the theories people have about what may be back there. Just leave a comment. Like I said, you can DM. You can just let me know, and we'll touch base on those topics next week. I want y'all to have a wonderful week, and peace and love. Mwah.